Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the first time as if we never left because we haven't. Word up, word up. There he is. All right, this is perfect. Right on time. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Peace and
Salute,
blessings.
brother.
Respect,
Salute.
my Lord. Shalom,
I'm
shalom.
blessed, man. How are you, man? How
All
are
right,
you?
man. Pardon me. I
Um,
couldn't get on. I was going to the other page.
Yeah, I decided to do this one because I have more of a following here where everyone can and see the vibes, and I want everyone to experience this in real time. And I'll put it on the other one after I'm done. Um, I usually like to do an introduction real fast, and with you, I definitely have to do one. So I hope you don't mind these flowers.
The
Ladies and
million,
gentlemen,
the
the
million.
person that is in front of me right now is someone that I used to listen to in high school when I was getting ready for my track races. I would listen to this song every day. Heed the Word of a Brother became the soundtrack to my life. Um, I think it's one of the greatest records that was ever created simply because of the content. The music was dope too, but the words meant everything to me, especially as an up and coming MC at that time. I was 17, 16
Get
going
back.
on 17. And I forever owe my teachings musically for one of the first teachers that I ever really took inside of my heart and it's like, yo, whatever this man makes, I'm gonna listen to alongside people like Chuck and Wise Intelligence, so many others. But you were definitely one of my earliest influences on how to spit correctly.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I truly appreciate you for that and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here needs no introduction. If you are familiar with cultural hip hop music, then a group called the X Clan is someone that everybody should know about. They revolutionized music, speaking on culture, education, love for who we are as black men and women. They spoke on any topic you could possibly imagine, and they did it their way, the Glorious way. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is the one and only Grand Verbalizer, Funkin Lesson, Brother Jay. How are you, sir?
Peace, family. Peace, family.
Hey.
Give thanks.
Thank you for doing this on such short notice. I appreciate you. I know you're busy talking to everyone about the Red Pill concert. We're definitely going to get into that. But for me, nostalgically, I like to just take it back to the beginning and just really start to understand your career, how X-Clan came about, the definition of Vanglorious, Black Watch, all that. Do you mind?
Oh, it's all blessed, man. Let's build
All
it.
right. One love, one love. So, who were your early influences in hip hop? Who influenced you to become the MC that you are today?
Um, really, really dumb lyrics inspired me to write in hip hop because I was DJing and beatboxing and being behind a lot of MCs, seeing people, losing battles, winning battles, and just really noting the content. I felt that I could start writing things, combining my street poetry to the music. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so it was more so me seeing a missing enzyme in the game, so to speak. And this is just high school battles, lunch table, all of that. I'm listening to all the lyrics and whatnot, and it's not there wasn't really any content then. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Cass was just ego tripping at that time. So I started writing. We all go through our phases in MC. We write like everybody else because we're in a trend situation. You trying to,
Right.
feel out what's good and what's not. But I didn't have that phase too long because I joined the movement still in high school, and I was able to express my street poetry in that place. Heed the Word. Funny you say that. That was one of my first records to submit as a demo, and I did it off of More Bounce to the Ounce. And 45 King showed me better production than me just sampling it off, the ashy record that I had from spinning so much. You know what
Yeah.
happens when you keep, hitting them needles
Okay.
on that wax and whatnot. So,
Exactly.
so I took that and the Roy Ayers, Raise the Flag, um, song, Red, Black, and Green,
Yeah.
Roy Ayers and Edwin Byrd song. And big up to my uncle Edwin Byrd song. I took that sample and I flipped it to A and B side. We had A and B sides back then,
Oh yeah.
and the rest was history. So what inspired me was lack of content, and I started doing content, and that
Mhm.
in that way I became a bullhorn for the Black Watch movement.
Amen to that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now tuning in, we got the legendary spokesman for the X Clan and just socially conscious hip hop all around, the one and only Brother Jay, holding it down with us, talking about how the beginnings of your origins came about. So, Heed the Word, Raise the Flag, great records. I am from that era where there was an A side and then a B side. I do have vinyl. I actually have, and I
Yeah.
wish I had it with me right now. I think I have a 12-inch of Funkin' Lesson. Um,
Mm.
what else do I have? I gotta remember all the other ones, but I do know I have a 12-inch of Funkin' Lesson, and that just the gear alone spoke a message. Just what y'all wore spoke a message, and no lie, and don't laugh at me about this. I actually was trying to find the brown garment that you had worn on the cover of the Funkin' Lesson 12. I was trying to find that, and I was gonna wear it. I didn't care what
Yeah,
anyone. Like, I'm
that was
representing
a
my
one of
black
a
people.
kind.
We have
That was a one of a kind. I think that was I forgot what material that was. I got that in California my first trip, and
nice,
that was like a little Doctor Strange cape I used to rock, and I rocked it on that Funkin' Lesson cover. And
man.
I used to move around in it too, one dude moving around Flatbush, rocking the cape and the crown and moving around, I had no shame with my African dog,
Absolutely. Don't
Yeah.
no apologies whatsoever. Absolutely. So so then you start to find your voice. How did you link up with the gods, Professor X, Sherpa Architect Paradise, and the whole crew to form X Clan? Tell me about the first time you met those brothers.
Well, Architect used to sneak me and Shaft into the Latin quarters. You know, Shaft lived right up the way from Architect, right there off Eastern Parkway. And I knew Shaft from high school, so he used to brag about me to Architect, let my man get on stage. I was way too young to get on that stage then. And he introduced me to Professor. I went to see Cash Money and Marvelous at the Milky Way in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Me and PX had met there. Sonny Carson's son, he said that he was starting a movement called the Black Watch. And the brother Paradise, he was like, I want to submit this brother, to get with the Black Watch and whatnot. And he got lyrics and stuff. So, I had to go through my earning process in the Black Watch. It wasn't, just going there to rhyme and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, so from that point at the club, I went down to the movement. We was meeting at Lumumba's house at the time, and I joined the Black Watch, and I got caught up in the training and stuff more so than the music. I forgot about rhyming and everything. It was funny enough. But when it was my time, like I told him, I said, when it's my time to get in that booth, I hadn't been in studios. I was doing everything out of my house, off my turntables and my little 8-second sampler at the time and whatnot, and just stacking my cassettes, what I'm saying, and just making my own little get down. And then I got a single deal through them. Paradise Lumumba had found, God bless him, he had found a outlet through 4th and Broadway to do a single deal.
Yeah.
And that was Heed the Word and Raise the Flag and whatnot. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that was the
Right.
deal with that.
Amen to that, man. Shout out to Fourth and Broadway, definitely for believing in y'all to give y'all that solo shot and
Yeah.
making it do what it do. So fast forward, the album's out, To the East Blackwards. First of all, that was one of the dopest titles of an album I think I've ever seen and still resonates to this day. Were you nervous with your debut?
Nah, man, I was more than confident, bro, because like I'm saying, I had the movement in me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? I was building with elders. I was building with a lot of powerful speakers that were in our city standing out for our people, and then we were front line. So it wasn't like we was just studying at the lab. We was out on the streets actually fighting with a lot of the authorities and different things that was happening. Man, we were living everything I was talking on that album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Really standing for for social justice in a different way. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't nervous at all. I was actually hyped. Finished coming from a rally, going to lab, I lay outrage, and when Funkin' Lesson, I'm learning what George Clinton meant to thinkers, rather than just the funk master and whatnot. I learned what he meant to thinkers who really know how to dissect the code that he was building on. You know what I'm saying? You know, to really have the funk of the acquired, that was important to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Funkin' lesson is part of my title. You know, all these things are earned at that time frame. It wasn't just like, let me create a long ass title and shit. You know, I wasn't an MC. I was a messenger. You
Yeah.
know, and I earned the Grand Verbalizer, you know, as a unique title for myself. You know what I'm saying? To say, this is my fingerprint in the game. This is, I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be MC Fresh. I don't want to be J Ski or any of that kind of bullshit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You know, it's time for us to have our identities solid. So
Yeah.
I wanted that to represent in our titles and stuff like that. And even into the East Blackwards. You know, my father, God bless him, he would always say, look to the East. And, and then when I understood what that meant as I got older, I named my album To the East Blackwoods. You know what I'm saying? And people of the order and higher sciences, they know what I'm, twisting up to make me more. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to create the funk code with this music. That's been the fun of it. So I could never be nervous,
Right.
doing what I love, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only Brother Jay here. Ex-Clan Massive, R.I.P. Professor X, rest in peace Sugar Shaft. Definitely two of the greatest people to just see grow up right before your very eyes. And I'm so glad I was born at the time I was to witness all this. Van Glorious.
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. If anyone that knows you or have seen you in concert or have heard it in the records has heard Van Glorious.
Yes.
When did Van Glorious come into play, and who thought of Van Glorious? Because that's dope, man. It's like just rolls off my tongue. Van Glorious.
Yeah,
Who
man.
came up with Van Glorious?
PX was in charge of what that was. I was actually before I came. There were two groups before X Clan came in Black Watch. It was one named Hardcore. They were out of Long Island, and then Unique and Dashan. And PX would go on. He didn't, at that time, he didn't say it as robust as he had it on X Clan because
Mhm.
it was a new terminology. It was a new word, and I like PX with that because he always twisted vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care about Noah Webster. And I rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Not like, I guess people would call it slang editorial, like Wu would say. You know what I'm saying? We would
Right.
definitely. So Vanglorious was a word of victory. It was a word of freedom, and
Hmm.
I
Absolutely.
love that. And it rang so well off him. And then, when the full spirit came up, that's what you hear on those records now.
Yeah.
Vainglory is protected. He had a personality and a pants with that. And I always loved him for that. We were always key on making up things. The verb stick, different things. The verb stick as an antenna. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Those type of things. We were showing the terminology to the gods. How we build in our regular, and we were sharing it through the wax. So Vanglorious was definitely a terminology created by our brother, founder of the Black Watch movement.
Amen and amen and amen. That's powerful right there. Once again, salute and rest in peace to Professor X, the overseer, every day, all day.
Yeah, man.
Your dynamic, for me personally, was a breath of fresh air because in hip hop before you guys, it was just the main MC and then a hype man that would basically, say the words that the main rapper was saying. But your narrative was different. After your verse, Professor X would come in with like a spoken word chorus or maybe like a spoken word narrative to begin the record before you start spitting your bars. Never seen anything like that before. Was that the mission that you all had in mind or thought about, or did it just roll like that because it worked? The dynamic of poetry from his word, his mouth, and then your bars from yours was a dynamic that I thought was incredible. Speak on that real quick.
Well,
Was that
that,
in
well,
the
that's
plan,
good that
or
you
did it just happen organically?
it's good that you recognize it like that because again, I didn't want the MC dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want PX behind me every word, you know, grand verbalizer, this, that, you know, that would have made us rap.
Yeah.
So when I wrote his pieces, I was writing more for him to be like that spoken word type of entity, you know, because spoken word wasn't respected. You know, they always made it like you were rapping or doing spoken word, like it's separate. It's all word construction and word composition. So I wanted spoken word to be in our music, and PX had a dope voice. Originally, Brother Paradise was supposed to be doing some of those parts, but PX's popularity doing that had grown so strong that you know, we couldn't. Fuck you, bitch. I'm on the live, man.
Hey, this is dope. That's hip hop. Let's go.
We riding to the last. Sir Jinx in the house.
Sorry, I'm mean.
Hey, all right.
I got many jobs over here.
The legendary Sir Jinx. How you doing, fam?
Brother, and how you guys? Sorry about that, brother.
Nah, it's all good, Sir Jinx, man. It's all gravy, sir.
Yeah, but you know, as I was saying with the rap thing, I didn't want the dynamic of, you know, he wasn't a hype man like that, like how Flav is like an expert, you know, support for what Public Enemy is. You can't imitate that. And I didn't want, you know, we didn't want that. You know, we didn't want Sissy to replace Yeah Boy, and you know, we didn't want none of that. We were a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? So when I was writing for PX in the beginning, before he started learning how to do his own, it was like spoken word to bridge the gap, because just rapping on a beat, rap, it would have made it that MC thing. It would have just been, you know, Vanglorious in the beginning and rap, chorus, rap, go ahead on. You know,
Right.
we were making like different songs, like Funkin Lesson had breakdowns. Songs didn't have breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Cats One, you know, very few songs. So, you know, we wanted to have breakdowns. I come from the DJ world. So I know there were songs that I would just play the break, you know, and just get into the groove. So we wanted to create our records like that. So it wouldn't have worked for him just to be behind me with words and doing that kind of thing. That I wouldn't have wanted the founder of a movement to be hype manning for me like that, like a rapper and shit. That wouldn't have been it.
I agree. Well, like I said, the dynamic worked, and it was a beautiful marriage, right from the gate. If you just now tuned in, we got the one and only Brother Jay and Sir Jinx, legendary Sir Jinx. I'm glad he came, because we could talk about the Red Bull, and now that he's here, we can definitely get into that. What was I going to say next? Oh, Lord have mercy. Black Watch. We know the movement, how it got started. I would notice in the credits on the albums that you had a bunch of people that were down with the movement, KRS, Big Daddy Kane, and so many other great talents like that. Das Effects, I didn't know was part of the Black Watch movement, which was dope in its own right. Brothers and sisters that came to you and said, I want to be down with the Black Watch movement, was there a certain criteria that they had to have? Or what was your criteria for getting people to join along the movement?
Well, I mean, Kane wasn't in the Black Watch. Just Dice was down with us. YZ was down with us. But you know, you wouldn't want to come around the Black Watch and not be affiliated with what we were standing for. You know what I'm saying? And then PX and Architect were managers in hip hop, so they were getting cats their first jobs. You know, Ultramagnetic, Kane, Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes was helping them get on board in one of the biggest clubs in the city. So when they went to the movement, you know, and stopped wearing Yankee caps and Louis Vuitton beret and all that kind of shit, and started wearing crowns and beads, you know, we were going through a conditioning. So Black Watch was like a boot camp, you know, that elevated people to, you know, different levels of the protocol and whatnot. But you know, even Das Effects, they came in, they were flag bearers at one time. You know what I'm saying? You know, Architect has pictures of that, you know, and they were earning. But, you know, the music, you know, as I stated in the documentary that's coming for X-Clan, you know, the music kind of blocked us from being able to condition people. Like when I first came, we had time for training. We had time for, you know, the studies and things of that level. Now you imagine mixing that with, you got a 10-city tour. Or, you know, or there's, you know, 5 spot dates. We going to Indiana, we going to Florida, we going to whatever. So that stopped, you know, us being able to get up and hit Prospect Park with Master China and go train, you know, get with Master Sheik. You know, we had grandmasters of martial arts in our camp, you know, generations deep. You know what I'm saying? And self-defense is very important, especially if you're talking shit as a black militant. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to back that up. You know, there's a lot of little library red, black, and green cats right now talk a lot of stuff and, you know, and don't follow up with the self-defense side of what it is. You know, they got to remember what, you know, Blackstone Rangers and, you know, the Black Panthers and different people like that, different movements, you know, the training was first for the woman and the men. You know what I'm saying? So our sisters were trained, our brothers were trained, and then when the music came, it started getting more, you know, just taking people that were willing to be a part of what's happening. And I think that's what kind of, you know, divided what the Black Watch was. You had people that were really truly earning, you know, busting their ass every day, and then some people coming because they heard a record and they wanted to look like, you know, we were looking, but you got to earn that. You know, every bead and everything that we had was earned. It wasn't just like pick it up at the African shop up the way. You know what I'm saying? You know, 60% of what's happening came from somebody handing it to you as a reward. You know, we had elders that were giving us, you know, their pieces of their armor that they had. And that was a high, you know, honor for us as young heads. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing out Sonny Carson's dashiki I was wearing and Heed the Word. You know what I'm saying? People don't even know the artifacts and stuff that, you know, that we had, you know, going on. So, you know, there was, you know, the Black Watch became divided after a while, man, you know, and what we were earning for, you know, as members of that kind of got diluted by the popularity of music. And that didn't digest well with everybody, especially with me. That's why I broke the group up.
I was about to get into that, but you already segued into that. Wow, that's powerful. Ooh,
Yeah.
let me digest that real quick. That was powerful. I mean, because I know, you know, a lot of groups, factions come and go, break up and go their separate way and come back. But I know that must have been mentally tough on you to have to split the group up because y'all were a family at the end of the day. It wasn't about sales, greeting the people or anything. At first, it was a family that just went out into the world and provided this powerful message. So I know it definitely must have touched you to have to do certain things like that. But sometimes things like that have to get done.
Yeah, we had to step back because, you know, the industry changed, how we were recruiting changed. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, yo, man, this is way too much. You know, now we didn't look at Billboard when we made records when we started. Now we looking at the charts like where we at. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And now we getting conversations from the label like competing with others. We didn't have to compete with nobody. Cats was trying to be like us.
right.
Cats never thought anything African in their life. Started medallions and wrapping their head up and shit like that. And I'm saying, you know, fine. I'm glad that kind of thing is contagious. But you know, where's the dudes? You know, you can't just imitate. Y'all acting kind of clonish at this point. So, you know, I felt like, you know, it's time for us to take a break before we start becoming like them, trying to
Yeah,
be like, yeah, we want to be top rappers now, and putting the gold chains on and all this other stuff. You know, we started getting out of control. You know, I was full gold teeth in my mouth, and you know, and big diamonds and shit, and all kind of things. And not that we can't wear that, you know, but when you wearing it off the ego side and not off of how, you know, we were inheriting the jewels from the elders, you know, there's a problem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I'm not innocent from that, my lord. You know, popularity that you earn, you know, you want to enjoy it to the fullest. You want to enjoy all those amenities. But, you know,
absolutely.
from where we come from, we have to go back to the writing on the wall. Me and Jinx was talking about, you know, the laws of Ma'at, you know, the 42 principles, man. And, you know, when the writing's on the wall, you don't have to think twice. You know when you off. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to ask somebody. You go read the wall and you say, well,
Absolutely.
damn, I'm slipping. You know,
Yeah.
my shit is not on balance. You know what I'm saying? So I broke the group up in that sense, not because we couldn't handle the industry. What
Right.
beat I can't rhyme to, you know, what studio we can't go to, whatever it is, we can always continue doing all of that shit. But at the end of the day, if we losing focus of what we were before the music, we didn't create X Clan for the industry.
You're right.
We were the messenger group, dog. We didn't need radio arenas to pack shit up for us. We were having parties and invite all the elders of the children. That's what the Black Watch was made for.
Right.
Shit, we could easily get 200 people, 300 people in a place and throw down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha. Absolutely, absolutely. Couple more questions about the clan, then we're going to focus on the red pill. Just to for my own benefit, and then everybody else that is curious about this. You got Isis and Queen Mother Rage. They eventually joined in because you mentioned recruiting, and I don't like to use the word recruiting because it makes it seem like it's a boot camp, and it's really not. But what was it about Isis and Queen Mother Rage that said, you know what, these ladies have a message of their own that fits in with what we're trying to do? Let's get them out there so we can represent the sisterhood that needs to have their voice as well.
well, you know, Queen Mother Rage, she was a battle rapper.
Now
And
that I did not know, not with that light voice. I mean, it was powerful, but really,
yeah,
whoa,
because think about it. Her vocabulary was above whoever was stepping in front of her. So you imagine somebody coming talking about my car and my thing and my this and that, and then she's coming from straight vocabulary busting like
yeah,
crazy. She was a very intelligent woman. That's my mother of my first child. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? I was attracted to the way that she calculated. Like I don't have to huff and puff and growl like a dungeon dragon or none of that shit. I
yeah,
can just be in my posture and eliminate MCs off of intelligence. And actually, PX and Shaft met her first. I didn't know who she was. You know what I'm saying? So they met her going to the Sensations Club in New Jersey. I used to go out there to see artists. You know, I went out there to see Kane a long time ago. Funny you talk about Kane. But I went out there to see Kane, and the time I didn't go, I think they went to see another group. You know, popular groups would perform there, and Rage was there. And they got into a car accident, and they were supposed to meet up with her to see her rhyme or whatever. And Rage was rapping to PX. PX was laid out on the thing, on the stretcher and shit to get checked, you know, for injuries. And he's like, oh, you know, glad to meet you and shit. And he said, show me what you got. And Shorty was busting and shit. And the next thing you know, Rage was coming to, you know, to the meetings and whatnot as one of the future messengers. Because, you know, once Clan had kind of cracked that messenger situation, we started to create our uniform, the crown and the type of clothing that we were starting to rock as Black Watch. You know, it was something for them to step into. You know what I'm saying? Isis, the same thing. Isis was doing house music at the time.
wow,
Deep into that culture and shit with them big shoes and shit. And very house music culture, similar to how punk rock culture is. And PX saw her, and already she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But a little tiny sister and shit. And she had a lot of energy, man. She was compact, but she was powerful. Like she was 10 feet tall.
yeah,
So, and he said, you know, I know a better place for you to rock that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Lynn, you know, I would have loved her to start rocking like breaks, you know, like soulful breaks and getting away from the tempo, but I didn't produce her project. You know what I'm saying? I think Architect had did some of her project and gave us some loops and stuff. I would have kept her out of her comfort zone. As far as high tempo fast shit, I would have really got her in some pocket, like some of the drums, like Verbs of Power, those type of breaks.
yeah,
Verbal Milk, like fun joints. You know what I'm
She
saying?
could have smashed.
Yeah, lyrical joints and then fun joints I would have put around her. But, you know, I didn't see myself as a producer then, bro. You know, I just was doing whatever element I had to do. I did everything but breakdancing. You know.
Hey, you could have been successful at that. You never know.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't into
never
that.
know.
Yeah, I enjoy dancing at parties and shit like that, but I'm not gonna be spinning on my head and shit. Doing windmills and all that kind of thing. Big up to the brothers that do that, and sisters that do that, but I'm not the one. So, but on ISIS and Link Q,
Mm-hmm.
they were doing things um in different spectrums, because remember, consciousness has never had a category. All
Right.
right. So we were kind of chiseling that tunnel at that time frame with
Mm-hmm.
other artists that were positive, Public Enemies, Sir Ibu, different cats that were out at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of 5% knowledge at that time frame, because wise intelligence, stuff like that, Paul Righteous,
Mm-hmm.
because again, 5% heavy vocabulary,
Yeah.
less cursing and stuff like that, because we explore math. What's the math of the day? And you breaking down phrases and rhythm in how you doing it. Today's mathematics is such and such and such, or being born to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So in that is its own cadence. So it's easy to bring that math into the rhymes frame. Even Kane was 5% rapper.
Yeah.
Jay-Z 5%.
Wow.
And even Jay-Z and Jazz flipped into Nuwabian. You know what I'm saying? At a time frame and whatnot.
Yeah.
So a lot of the gods of higher thinking were in rhyme. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And the sisters had never been introduced to that until coming to the movement, because right now, just their intelligence was up to speed. Like, okay, you're an exceptional rapper, but now let's put something in your tank different. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when you put rocket fuel in your car, I'm sure it will perform differently. So same thing with them. Different stuff in their tank. People around here training and building. Elders who were standing, elders who knew Malcolm X are here. A lot of times we didn't have to read books. We knew people who knew Clarence 13X. God bless those brothers. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And told us the real deal behind the scenes of what's happening, instead of just the face value that everybody turns pink to
Yeah.
green to blue, throughout time. So,
Mm-hmm.
so having first person access to all of that information, that kind of twists how you rhyme. And then you don't want to write crazy shit. I couldn't have seen anybody be there and write a booty song or something. Who you gonna sing
Yeah.
that to?
Right.
You might get beat up in here singing some shit like that. Real talk.
Facts. Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To insult the freedom of speech that we have through that mic, we saw it differently, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The freedom of speech that our elders fought for, even the right to come and stand in front of a mic or
Mm-hmm.
be in a public place. You know what I'm saying? And then you would waste it talking about my coochie is like a macaroni in a pot, and 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 my car runs at a certain rev and whatnot. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what the red pill is about. To spill into that, because I know you're going into that.
Right.
This is the chiseling, that we need to get into, not to get into a mainstream, because the mainstream does not belong to commercialism. All
Yeah.
right. It's just the fact that nobody say, yo, I'm planting this flag here. We passed this beautiful island, and it's so great. We go take fruits from it. But nobody says, yo, this is the island for the conscious heads, the real conscious, not that fake woke shit that I'm
Yeah.
hearing these people in, whatever cancel cultures or whatever's going on. That's not my
Mm-hmm.
battle. That's not
Yeah.
my battle. And it's not for this era to define what that is, because they have exampled absolutely no consciousness in the industry. I can't even name an artist right now in the top 10 that examples any kind of consciousness. It's ridiculous. And it's
Yeah.
only after they have exposed themselves to a certain level of success, then they
Yeah.
come back. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
if I look at a J. Cole and say, yo, when you first came out, you weren't organic, riding the bike and doing the thing or whatever case may be. I don't, again, I don't know these people in their regular lifestyle, but how the
Right.
industry put you out there, you weren't an organic person like that. You just like another MC. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Common came out, you knew what he was.
Yeah.
You know that was a Chicago poet type of MC. You know what that was. It was organic from the gate. When Dead Press came out, you know what they
Yeah.
were. Okay?
Yeah.
When David Banner came out, it wasn't that.
No.
It was
Wasn't
something
that at
else.
all? Absolutely, and that's a very thing. I'm glad you touched on that because that's what drew me to people like you and Rakim and CL Smooth and Heavy D because they already let you know from the gate who they were and what they were going to do. You didn't have to wait for the second album, the third album to wait. Okay, what direction they gave it to you from the jump. So yeah.
Yeah, real talk. So nobody was addressing this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
you know, these sisters may want to come out and be positive, and there's no category for them. So they're saying, well, damn, what am I doing music for? If I want to stand on that stage, I better prop my booty like Nikki. I better, you know, I better get the weave shit like Shorty or whatever it is. They're not
Mhm.
looking at the model to success because
Right.
there's been no conscious artists that have been successful. If Latifah was consistently positive in her situation, then where she is, it would be different. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? She went and said, "Yo, I'm going into film. I'm going into this." We didn't get another contribution from her. She went into Vegas music and different things because her opportunity was different. And I don't knock on her.
Right.
Okay. But we need someone to get to that mantle that's not going to change. Now, you imagine somebody like Soleil getting that look, or Sarok getting that
Yeah.
look, or Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the frame of mind that she was in when she was coming out. I don't remember hearing no red bottom shoe from Lauryn Hill or no crazy
Nothing.
shit like that, my dog. You
Nothing
know what I'm
like that.
saying? I don't think Lauryn Hill would get to a popularity of Hollywood and then flip out and say, "Yo, I'm singing some Burt Bacharach songs now and shit." I don't think she would do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock anybody's opportunity, but I'm saying to you, in defining what this conscious music thing is,
Hmm.
it has to deal with consistency.
Yeah.
It has
That.
to. Okay, I can't take, you know, if you coming into a different light in your career, I accept you as you're evolving. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I would like to start seeing artists organically created like that. The
Yeah.
10-year-old rapper that's singing Lil Wayne word for word. I would like you to bear witness to something else and say, yo, study some more vocabulary and stop trying to come off your head with the simplest words that you can conjure. Dig down, get a pencil, get off your phone, get a piece of paper and write. Get the
Hmm.
dictionary off the shelf, undust it, and learn how to read again.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, you know, most organic thinkers like that still write on paper,
Yeah.
still, you know, still study vocabulary, still
Hmm.
do things of that nature. And I'm not saying that these artists are dumb, but the music is dumb. Okay? I can look at 10 songs that have the same vocabulary every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Okay? Carbon copy. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. That means you're bringing us back in intelligence. If I'm singing with you, you're dulling my intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm introducing builders.
Mm.
Okay? Every record, you can make a lesson plan through the 16 bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guaranteed. Okay? Guaranteed. That's why I never put out any of my materials because it would be putting pearls before swine. How would I put out a book and say, well, this is what I was thinking when I was writing this, when the young heads don't even read books?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be just an ebook for you to skim through. I want to be in your back pocket folded
Hmm.
and take it out and read it and say, yo, man, what would Funkin' Lessons say at this time? You know,
Wow.
let me get a jewel out of these pages right now. That's what I want. I don't
Man.
want that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you. You know, I see all these cats putting books out. I don't see them books with them when they move around. Wu-Tang book, Jay-Z book, this kind of book. They
Hmm.
ain't learning nothing. Y'all sat there and took the time to write this shit, and these cats don't even read. They skim
Yeah.
because you're spoiled with information. Every day you skimming, your thumb is your master.
Mm.
What can I
Wow.
skim past? You don't even take the time for anything. There's no meditation time to digest.
Mm.
So
Damn.
we're trying to add on in that place, bro. You know, it's psychological, the damage. It's not just about
Yeah.
changing the music, dog. It's psychological damage going on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. I just got took into school, ladies and gentlemen. I just got took into school, but that was dope. That was honest talk, and everything you just said was all truth. Like I can't find a rapper today that I can resonate with, and that's I'm 48 years old,
Nah, bro.
and as a DJ, still, it's like I have a hard time playing the music that I have to play at clubs and stuff, but you know, I have to go along with it. But in my head, I'm like, man, I would love to listen to "Don't Let It Go to Your Head" by Brand Nubian right now, or just something with some knowledge in it. Like,
Hey, bro.
I gotta play this. This is warfare out here. And I feel responsible because I'm the DJ, but it's always a crossroads with
Hey, bro.
that.
Hey, I felt the same way. So instead of talking about it in the barbershop, instead of putting it up on the internet, I went and put some due diligence down to get some business and say, I want to do a concert. I want to do a series with all of the people that we're mentioning now. The Dead
Yeah.
Prep, the Brand Nubian, the Poor Righteous, so on and so on. And then mix it with the new generation. You know, the Cyrocks, the K Turners, the K Love, the Poets, all of the artists that they never seen. You know,
Right.
I told Cass years ago, I've seen one of the most powerful female lyricists, and Cass wouldn't even know. You know, they looking for a chart to go, oh, Cardi B is number one. No, Sonny Patterson is one of the number one lyricists to me in the world, bro. I'm blown away at where people look, and you're gonna see these people. I'm gonna be throwing invites, and as long as they give me, you know, the respect of accepting what I have, come and let the people give you love, because I'm never gonna see you on their stages the way that they're supposed to be showcased. Okay, I'm creating this platform not just for myself. I could have been selfish and just said X Clan documentary, album, and some videos.
Yeah.
And never called the soul. Use that platform for myself, the red pill, and just been about my own shit.
Right.
I said, there's absolutely no way that I would link with Music Time and just be about myself. You know, I could have been like, I got to the goal, I got what I needed, and now I could just flood you out with material. No, I want variety. You might not like me, but you like Chuck. You might not like Chuck, but you like Wise. You might not like Soleil. You might like everybody. Whatever it is, this equation has got to touch you in some place, man. You feel what I'm saying? So after the people respond, because it's a roll of the dice. People talk and complain about all the time, yo, I miss this, I want to hear Brand Nubian, just like you said. And then it comes time to put up. Now, if I offer it for free, then I'm a cheap trick.
Yeah.
But if I say, yo, show your support and let the artists here get paid by you, okay?
Yeah.
Now you're showing your love to them. And it's not through a super chat or some Cash App, hit my Bing or whatever, or support me, whatever the hell goes on internet. Divide straight support to say, damn, you giving me jewels, you bringing me back, you charging my cells again. Thank you. Okay? When you go to a temple, you leave a donation. When you go to a church, you leave a donation. We're saying, come to our temple. Leave a donation for these artists, and you will see more of them all day long. I have a full green light for that. Okay?
Amen.
So for anybody complaining and talking all that shit and you don't step up, you're going to have to shut up after this. You can't say shit anymore.
Right.
Okay? Because it's not about one individual. It's not about me. You know, it's not about Chuck. It's not about any of that. It's about what we're stating this whole movement for. The reason that my brother from Music Time saw it, he said, yo, man, red pill off the gate for the name of it, Brother Will. So he said, yo, man, red pill makes sense. And I said, that's perfect, because with me, there's no straddling the fence. I don't have the pills in my hand, both the blue and the red. You have no option. It's either the red pill or the sword.
Nothing. Right.
Freedom or death at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yes, real.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Pill concert is this coming Saturday, the 19th, correct?
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Yes, it is. The lineup is insane. Like Chuck D, Wise Intelligent. I feel are two other teachers of mine. The legendary Sir Jinx Sarok, whose album I got to listen to. many times over. Brilliant. I actually tried to get her on here, but it just didn't pan out. But talented lady, Soleil legend in her own right. This is a beautiful thing that you're doing, and I know it's just the first chapter. There's going to be many more of these. So speak on Red Pill real quick. Let people know how they can tune in. Talk about that, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Indeed, brother, and I appreciate the time, man, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. It's inspiring to me. I'm glad to know that brothers like yourself are still out there. That's why I do this, man, and that's what this Red Pill concert is for. It's for people who have just, put their head in their hand and shit and say, what the hell is going on right now? Why can't I get some decent vibration, some positivity? So Red Pill is the spearhead of a sonic movement to set balance, period. We're not at competition with new generation or old generation. We're about the now, the present. You know what I'm saying? There are things to be addressed. There's damage to our youth and adults. You got adults acting like kids right now, straight out, trying to keep up with the tempo of hip hop. And I'm saying, wait a minute, if other things and forms of expression come from hip hop, that's one thing, but you don't change yourself up. You don't switch yourself up to become something that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what hip hop was about. If it's self-expression, then you must have knowledge of self. Okay? Or else you're playing games. How you have self-expression, you don't even know what the hell you are. That makes absolutely no sense. So these, the simple things are not defined in these generations. So Red Pill takes you to the crossroads. Many generations, you know what I'm saying, coming in. So it's not like I said, me, Chris, and Chuck, and y'all come and get schooled or whatever they say when they put us together in these combinations. No, it's not that. This is a showcase of what you've been missing. I've been granted the position to build a radio station around this because they're so pleased with the concept. Now I can create a Shade 4-5 for conscious music and bring in brothers like Sir Jinx, brothers like Battle Cat, you know what I'm saying? Brothers like Ninth Wonder, Premier. Why wouldn't you want to come and spin some of the music? We got 30 years of unheard material, bro. Brushed under the rug. So you imagine that level. You imagine, I don't want to be a Pandora mix, dog.
Oh, man, you ain't saying nothing but a word right there.
Word the fuck up. I don't want to be a Pandora mix. I want to be able to come in and say, yo, man, boom, we spending the bomb shit for the next 2 hours. Dead Prez, Common, J Electronica, Lauryn Hill, Damian Marley. Come on, man. I put Roots Reggae in this because they go through the same shit. Their battle with dancehall is like ridiculous. Dancehall is super nasty in places, man. I can't believe the shit be coming out of people's mouth.
Oh, man.
Crazy as fuck. And I'm saying at the end of the day, it's all our people. So it's not like I could just say, well, fuck y'all, but we have to find a balance. So I'm saying,
okay, to this radio show, I want to tune in. Shoot, I want to make a mix for it. Man, what? Hey, we got to talk about that. I would love to just submit something. Oh, man, I'm getting off key because I just got excited about that because there's no radio stations for us. For this type of music. I can't find nothing.
Hey, bro, they make my job. Ignorance makes my job easy, brother.
I'll put that on a t-shirt. Ignorance makes my job easier. I like that.
Easy as fuck, because what I'm talking about is not alien. It's just not being done. And it's like, why?
It's really not.
It's like, why? So if it was a matter of bread, go out and raise the paper and make it happen. And that's what we did. Big up to Alpha Business Venture Group. They came in and matched me with this situation and helped me structure this Red Pill Music Time, gave us the technology, made it friendly for people to be able to come on board and not go through a whole lot of bullshit. But now people are subscribing to a sonic movement. You know what I'm saying? It means something different. You're not just coming to a rap show. You're not just buying like a UFC fight. You're participating in the sonic movement. You're helping us stay self-efficient. We don't have to reach out to sponsors that are trying to buy us out to change our shit. All right? Yeah. If the people show up, then we become self-efficient, period. We stay that way. All right? So, so when they come, they show numbers. Look, this industry is built on numbers now. Yeah. somebody come past your page and see you only got 5 friends, you're not gonna get a job. You could be the best dude in the world.
Right.
So I said, look, I'm not super social, man. I'm not gonna be online looking at taking pictures of my food and this is my dog and all kind of crazy shit, you know. So I said I need to do something that's powerful, that grabs, you know, the numbers that they're talking about, and the pay-per-view was a perfect option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a perfect option. It's a way for people to say, okay, I'm not just gonna throw you hearts and thumbs. I'm gonna give you support.
Right.
Okay. If you were coming to see us on tour, look, bro, this Red Pill was originally a 10-city tour. You know what I'm saying? And I said, with COVID already threatening us having a performance in a physical place, how would I have been comfortable enough to go on a 10-city tour? I just watched them cancel KRS and Rakim going out on the road because people were arguing to do the jab or not.
Wow.
And I said, you know, because we've been planning from the last of last year to now, okay? Trying to feel out what the top of the year was going to present.
Right.
Okay, so I said, look, man, let's put this thing and make it a production. I'm a producer, and that's what the fuck I do. So I said, let's put something together. Let me bring some veterans who know what they're doing on stage, and let's create the environment that we want the people to see. This is true unity. Look, man, this show was like a family reunion. You wouldn't even believe that we was coming there to perform. Everybody's hugging and missing each other because there's no promoter that are hiring us all at one time.
Yeah.
You hire separate elements. You go hire Chuck, you go hire Wise, you go hire Brother Jay. And I said, look, I'm not available anymore on that tip. If you messing with me now, you hiring my production. I'm bringing Sir Jinx. I'm bringing, you know, people like Medusa and Maestro. I can bring you a whole circus. You're not gonna come and say, hey, I just want your trapeze flipping or your lion taming. No, nigga, you gotta hire the whole circus.
Yeah.
You never know the goodness that I can bring. You don't know the level of conscious artists that I do that can come and give you a spectacular program. And I'm funny like that, bro. And I'm funny like
that. Man. That said it all, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here is a true out, and the legend is a cliche word, but I'm going to say it. You are truly a legend just for your mindset on content and culture and everything you just put out there. Is one of the reasons why I fell in love with you way back in 1989, and the love has not gone away. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Grand Verbalizer Funkin' Lesson, Brother Jay. Red Pill goes down this Saturday, March 19th. Definitely get your ticket. They're not much. Come on, people. If you can, it's about the cost of a haircut. It's really not that much. Really isn't.
yeah, bro. We gave them love, man.
Chuck D, Soleil, Cyrock, so many great people. The legendary Sir Jinx. If you know who Sir Jinx is, I ain't got to say nothing. The names just speak for themselves.
Yes.
Sir, thank you personally for being a guiding light for me as a young teenager, then young adult, then grown man growing up. Teach me how to live, how to love a black woman. I owe all of it to you for just planting those seeds through To the East Blackwards in Exodus and Return from Mecca. Thank you so much for everything. Floor is yours to close out. Red Pill once again. Let them know how they can get you. I know you're not a social media guy, but since we're in that technology, let them know how they can reach out to reach you to build with you going forward.
They can always touch me at Bro J X Clan on any platform, the Facebook, Instagram, and X Clan Worldwide. Y'all come and follow our X Clan Worldwide page. We're building that up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be displaying all kinds of exclusive content on that page as well. So, you know, I'll open my things up to the public, man, so people can get more involved, man. So I'm learning this internet thing. You know, I'll be primitive in my get down if I don't get with technology, man. You got to be the future as well as, you know, building on the ancients and the ancestors, man. So, you know, I'll be on point for y'all. Y'all come rock with me, and I'll be there for you. That's what's up.
Amen and amen. Brother Jay, thank you again, man. We will definitely build going forward. Delano, thank you so much for making this happen. And I'll see you all on Saturday because I'm gonna get my ticket and tune in myself because I want to hear the cuts. Absolutely.
You're gonna
So,
enjoy
Brother
it.
Jay and Sir Jinx, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you got a bunch of things to do, but we will definitely stay in touch and and not even good luck with the show. Just do the damn thing in the name of hip hop. Thank you, my kind sir. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you for the time. Much success.
Thank
Peace,
you.
God.
Likewise.
All right.
All right.